Hello and welcome to another episode of This Entrepreneurial Life. Today it is all about what programmers want. So if it's 2017, which it is, or maybe it's, by the time you may be watching this, hello, by the way. Hello. Hello. It is the entrepreneur here. Today I want to talk to you about programmers. That's why I'm wearing my programming glasses here. These are the glasses you have to have if you are going to program something. Yes. That's how it works. My name is Erlen Baki. I'm the author of the international best-selling book called Never Work Again and the best-selling book called 90 Days to Profit over there, and Outsourcing Mastery, which isn't a best-selling book, which you actually get for free when you buy Never Work Again. So Never Work Again is a book I wrote when I freed myself from my business, traveled the world for about 6 years, and lived what I call the freedom lifestyle. So throughout my entrepreneurial career, I've experimented, I've built things, I've built software that's been used by more than 500,000 people, and I've got some experience in terms of entrepreneurship, and I share that daily here on my blog called This Entrepreneurial Life on my YouTube channel. If you like it, subscribe. If you like it, share it, stuff like that. Okay, so this is my office in Oslo. And today it's all about hiring programmers. So in 2017, the way it is that most likely you're building some kind of software, or you're thinking about it, or maybe you have ideas about doing a startup, or you've been reading about startups. So programmers are now an integral part of the future of business. And if your competitor is building a better platform than you have, then it might be that you are actually going to be outcompeted by them. So the benefit of building tech and software into your business is that you can operate more efficiently. So how do you actually hire programmers? Well, there's a whole range of programmers. A lot of people call them programmers that aren't actually programmers. A lot of people are self-taught. Some people go to university. Other people have lots of experience. There's a lot of people, in India, they're in the Philippines, all over the world that offer programming. So how do you actually choose a good programmer for your business? Well, a good starting point when you have an idea for a platform is, first of all, always pre-sell anything that you're going to build. So if you're thinking about starting a business, or you're thinking about creating some kind of software, try to sort of pre-build it so that you show it to clients first before you start programming. Getting that feedback is really important, and in the sort of demo stage, testing phase, I actually highly recommend that you use a low-end programmer just to sort of get the functionality and design to show a client so that they can make tweaks and change it in accordance with what they believe they want. So that's stage one. So just like prototype with a cheap programmer. And then once you're actually certain and sure that you have something that will make money and sell, then I would definitely invest in somebody that knows what they're doing. So there's two ways of doing it. You can buy an external source. So you can go to Eastern Europe, for instance, and you can get somebody to that you hire per hour or for the project. I've done that. That's what I've been doing. But at the phase that we're in now, we're actually looking to hire a programmer to consistently work on our platform. So first of all, when you're hiring in general, you need to be a person that people want to work with. So you probably have to come into the office with energy, be inspirational, smile, use their name, listen to what they have to say, encourage them to do great work by focusing on what they are doing that is awesome, and subtly commenting on where they need to improve. So read How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you're not sure about how to work with people, then definitely read that book, apply it in your life. It is really important. So that's step number one. So be a person that people want to work with. That's number one. And how do you attract the right kind of person? Well, you need to have a project that maybe they are inspired to work on. Programmers are a little bit different. They don't necessarily. So first of all, programmers are in really high demand. They know that, and they know that they can make a lot of money, and they're not very worried about getting hired or having anything to do because they're in demand. So if you're wondering what to study, then study programming, because there's going to be jobs for the foreseeable future. So ideally, you have a project that they are really inspired by. It's a good match with what they want to do and how they want to spend their days. And of course, compensation. But compensation isn't always the main thing. So you can read the book by Simon Sinek called Start With Why, where you really understand what motivates people, and having like a higher purpose, having like a higher thing that that they're working towards is oftentimes more important than pay. So there can be so it's important that you have a vision for what you want to do. You're inspired by it, so that they are inspired by it, or they are simply inspired by it. That could be either the technological challenge or the mission of the business, or similar. So it's definitely some basics here is that you have something cool that you're building that they can be inspired by. Maybe they just want to take on the challenge of building it. And then there's pay. So then if you haven't watched my video about how to get money into your business, then most likely you're going to have to find some kind of money to pay them. But you don't have to necessarily pay them the industry average. If you have a project they're really passionate about, you can actually negotiate and also maybe give them some shares in your business. I would always, before giving any equity in the business, try them out for about 6 months and say, listen, I'm going to pay you this. If we work well together in 6 months, then you will get X amount of shares in my business. So that is the basics. How do you test if they're good? Well, you can have another programmer check their code. You can have them send you sample pages, and that's typically what I've been doing in terms of hiring. I've been checking what other programmers say and about what we should be building, and then I ask them questions about what they would build, and then I also get my other programmer friends to check their code. That's typically how we do it. Of course, checking references is also a good idea. Just to see if they're cool people to work with. Let's see, have I covered everything? Probably not. I can't cover everything in 7 minutes and 38 seconds. But if you have any questions, please type them in the comments below. So where do you find cheap programmers that are awesome? Well, some of them are at universities. You can go to universities and hang up, a note saying, I'm looking for an awesome programmer to change the world. And you can also contact the schools and they can do internships. So there's always lots of programming schools around, and you can always contact them. You can go to networking events at the campus, and of course go to sort of tech meetups. But my experience at the sort of startup scene is that everyone's looking for a programmer. So it's probably not an easy place to find a programmer if everyone is looking for a programmer. So you got to think a little bit out of the box there. But always ask people in your network. Always tell people about what you're doing and then what you're looking for, and then sometimes people refer you to really awesome people. So also know what you want. So if you can be very specific about what the technology is meant to do, then that's helpful for the programmer. And programmers are funny in the way that they sometimes just disappear. They sometimes just can't be bothered with people that are too needy. So definitely work on your people skills, and be honest and upfront about what you want to build and what you're looking for. And there's lots of websites you can go on, freelancer.com or .net. It used to be .net. You can try all these websites as well. If you want to save lots of cost in terms of working with a programmer, if you have the design spec before you start working with them, and you know exactly what you want, that saves a lot of money. If you want changes and things like that done afterwards, then typically it becomes very expensive. So this was another episode of This Entrepreneurial Life. My name is Erlen Bakke. I am the author of the best-selling book called... Oh, wrong side. Never Work Again. It's so difficult to do this. That book. And if you want to learn how to build a business, live the freedom lifestyle, and travel the world, then you can read that book. Please stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date with what's going on in entrepreneurial lessons daily, Monday through Friday. Thank you for watching.